Greetings, folks. TMOT back again for the final drive time of this year. I promise you, it's the last one for this year. I made this video yesterday, but I deleted it. Why did I delete it? Because I wanted to give you a little bit more than what I gave you yesterday. So let's get to it. As always, if you can like it, you can share it. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. Let it always shine bright for others to see so that they may see the light. And when we talk about the light, keep this in mind. Darkness is by default. Light we turn on, just like in Genesis. It said, and God said, let there be light. But there was darkness before. Even when he gave the blind man sight, immediately after, he said, my sheep know me. And there was a connection between the blind man having no sight, meaning being in darkness, but yet having that faith and going to Christ, who healed him, giving him sight or the ability to see the light. So the impeachment. So going back to before 2018, and I'm going to break this down again because many people don't get it. You know, folks have always asked me, and I said, if you guys ask questions, I will answer them. If I see them, I'll answer them. So feel free to, do whatever it is you want to do. All right, so let's get to this impeachment process. One of the things that separates me from the average Republican, I said average Republican, not conservative, because conservatives like me, they know what a rhino is. And what is a rhino? A Republican in name only. And I could go through the history of how this came to be in the Republican Party, but I'm not going to, because I have talked about all of that. I have been talking about it for 11 years, the history of the Democrat Party and how the Republican Party came to be so corrupt, something I did not come to an understanding of until George Bush's second term. So therefore, I'm not talking about the father, I'm talking about the son. But anyway, let me try and stay on point. So I really don't care if I go a little long on this particular video, because I want you to get it. I want you to understand. I want you to know where I'm coming from. So we just had the impeachment vote, right? Okay. Well, I told you that Trump would be impeached. Everybody come out, no, he's not going to be impeached. There's a possibility of this. There's a possibility of that. I say, no, he's going to be impeached because they've already laid the framework. Well, what's the framework, T-Mot? 39 rhinos quit in 2018. 39. Now, if you don't know my Facebook wall, I'm going to tell you something. I post stuff out there more so than I make drive time videos now. I detail this stuff. I have a friend by the name of Hank Sullivan. Details a lot of stuff. But you know what? People won't read. Somebody, I posted something about this woman who was a Pizza Hut driver or Domino's or whatever. God rest her soul. I said, damn it, get strapped. It is better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Damn being killed or murdered and buried because your employer won't allow you to carry a weapon. But this beautiful woman was killed. Why am I bringing this up? People won't read, and I'm going to give you the significance of this in just a second. Guy said, well, she was only 16. Was she of legal age? And I said, did you even read the article? You know what? I find it insulting when I take the time to post something for you and all you read is a title or go by what you think you know when the document is right there and all you've got to do is click it and read it. The woman was 31 years old. She was not 16. And so the guys, well, there's no reason to be rude. And I was like, you know what? I think everybody is like me. I find it disrespectful to comment on someone's post out of ignorance. Now, that's just me. Obviously, everybody ain't like me. And I don't mean no harm. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. But I want y'all to understand something. I've been doing this social media thing for 11 years. And I'm going to tell you, when you interact with as many people as I have been doing over the years, sometimes things wear on you. But I still keep going. I still keep trying. Why? Because Christ commanded that I do so. I made a comment that probably one of the, and please hear what I'm about to say. When you tell some people that give your life to Christ, you've got eternal life, they sit around and say to themselves, well, I'll be so glad when Jesus Christ returns, and they don't do nothing for the kingdom. Instead, they will sit back and eat crap from politicians who make promises and lie, and from preachers who teach BS. How in the hell can you sit up under a preacher that supports somebody like Hillary Clinton who believes in late-term abortions? How can you, if you even understand what being a Christian is all about? God declared that children were gifts from him. Who in the hell are you to be talking about taking the life of a child? Huh? Who are you? I know I'm going way around the path to get you to understand, but I have said many times that preachers and politicians are the two most dangerous people in the world when they are evil. Sunday, I'm preaching a sermon on seed wars. You ought to check it out because I promise you something. It will be life-changing. But anyway, so when you have people that will not even pick up the Bible and read it for themselves, trust me, you've got people that will not even pick up a book or an article or even go to a website and read the voting records of their politicians. I touched Trey Gowdy and got unfriended. So let me go on and get to that. We would not have had this impeachment vote had not 39 Republicans, rhinos, decided to quit in 2018. Why did they decide to quit? Because Trump got in and started overturning the money changers' tables. Like when Christ went into the temple and overturned the money changers' tables. You see, Christ already knew that he had everything. He didn't need the money changers in the temple to personally enrich him. That's right. Trump, when he went to D.C., he didn't need the money changers, the one percenters, the Federal Reserve, those backing the central bank, to back him for personal enrichment because Trump made his on his own. Are you seeing a parallel that I'm drawing? I even did a video about the civil war between Trump and D.C. You see, Trump did it on his own. These bastards went in and they do it off of the backs of the taxpayers. And I hate to say this, and it may come back to bite me, but it is what it is. Many American voters are dumb as hell because they vote out of ignorance. They don't know a damn thing about the person that they're voting for. They just see an R or a D, and that's what they do. And I can't stand it. People are always advising me, Derrick, man, if you're going to run for Senate, and I am running for Senate, I already did my announcement, man, don't go negative. Well, I'm not trying to go negative, but who in the hell don't want to know the truth? Who doesn't want to know the truth? Let me get back to these rhinos. 39 quit in 2018 after Trump got in. We get a president that went in kicking ass, keeping his promises, and 39 decided to quit. Now, 13 said, hey, I'm going to go do this, running for governor, et cetera, seeking office elsewhere. But 26 of them, they just quit. Guess who was amongst them? Trey Gowdy. I went and did the research. Every last one of them had a constitutional voting record. Okay, well, how are you getting this constitutional voting record? Go to thenewamerican.com/freedom-index. Look it up for yourself. See for yourself. Every last one of them had a CVR of less than 75%. Check out yours. Why did they do this? So that they could give the Democrats an opportunity to impeach, if not get rid of Trump, but at the very least to impeach Donald Trump. If you pay attention, you would have heard in the news before the vote, well, the Democrats are going to go to the vote. They need 217 votes. They can only afford to lose 12. Guess what? If those 39 had not quit, it would have been a non-issue. We already had the Senate. We kept the Senate, but we lost the House, which gave them the impeachment vote. Now, look, I told everybody back then, be of good cheer. Don't worry about the vote. The vote has only one purpose. That's for the idiots of America. Well, what do I mean by that? There are some people, and I just told you, they're only going to vote D, they're only going to vote R, that they're not going to study up on any politician. With that being said, the goal was a stain so that they could say, this man was impeached. And even Nancy Pelosi is hesitant to even send the articles over to the Senate. Why? Because she know it ain't going nowhere. I told you that back then. It will go nowhere. You want to know the main reason why it will go nowhere? Is because those Republicans that are still in office in the Senate are not willing to risk their seats. That's it. Fear of losing access. They were allowed to stay in. But those 39 in the House, they got the hell up out of there for this purpose only. Now they have the impeachment. Now they may send the articles on over. They may. But even if it doesn't matter, because as soon as they got the vote, Joe Biden got out there and started talking about, I will not allow Trump to be reelected. And you know what? Idiots in this country believe that Joe Biden gets to make that call. Who the hell is he? We have an electoral process, a voting process where people go and vote to determine who is going to be the president of this country. An opposing candidate doesn't have the right to make such a call. But you can't tell half the people that in America. They just don't get it. They don't understand. I had a good friend of mine, used to be, send me a message, and I posted it on my Facebook wall, gloating about Trump. And of course, me being me, I entertained it. I say, well, this is not news. I gave her a link to a video where I talked about this was going to happen. I said, but Trump is going to win in a landslide. And when she saw that she was losing the argument, now this is a person who identifies as a Christian, came back with, well, he needs to be assassinated. And I said, and I'm just paraphrasing, if you want to see what happened, go to my Facebook wall. It's TMOTOFGA. I said, you should be careful. God judges. As a Christian, how could you even allow those words to part your lips? Do you not even understand who Jesus Christ is and what he stood for? For you to make such a statement? I talked about two guys who came at me because I had on my Trump t-shirt, my Trump hat. I made a video about it. No, I talked about it in church in one of my sermons. But I did post about it. I was so angry. The nerve of these Negroes to approach me about what I was wearing. Hey man, if you don't like it, come and take it off. But they know I stay strapped, so I knew that wasn't going to happen. And I said, otherwise, shut the hell up. Bottom line, the things that I thought in my mind, I didn't let it come out of my mouth. And when I went home and I laid down and went to sleep and was thinking about it, I felt so bad and convicted. I got on my knees and I asked God, please forgive me for my thoughts. Because Jesus Christ said, it's not what goes in a man that defiles him, it's what comes out. And these little concepts that Jesus gave us all over, like people who still support the death penalty, can't even understand when Jesus was talking about the woman brought to him about committing adultery. And he said, he among you without sin, let him cast the first stone. They all dropped their bricks and got the hell on. But people can't connect the dots. Well, it was in the Old Testament. Damn it, I'm not bound by Old Testament canon. I am under the new covenant, the covenant of forgiveness and mercy. Yeah. You know what? Jesus told him, yeah, you kept the commandments, but you forgot the weightier matters of the law, mercy, forgiveness, etc. I could go on and on and on, but I'm digressing. The fact of the matter is, when she said, well, you know what? You have a happy new year. I said, I'm going to pray for you instead because I'm sure you support abortion too. And nothing in my Bible condones abortion or assassinating someone. And how in the hell as a Christian can you say things like that? But I say the same thing about people in the conservative, in the Republican Party. So I say the conservative party, because it is far from that. How in the hell can you support a guy with a 70% constitutional voting record? And I had one person tell me, well, you know, maybe that's a little skewed. Well, then why in the hell does Rand Paul have a 94% constitutional voting record? They shut the hell up. Got no argument. If Rand Paul and people like Thomas Massey can have 90% plus constitutional voting records, why doesn't David Perdue? Why doesn't Johnny Isakson? Why doesn't Doug Collins, the new hero, like Trey Gowdy? I said of Trey Gowdy back in those days, he is nothing but a bulldog with no teeth, providing you with nothing but theater. The same thing with that Texas guy. So I don't know where people are getting lost or why they are missing it and why people in the Republican Party continue to tell me not to talk about rhinos. I don't know why, but I will not shut up. I will not be quiet. And when I first ran the first time, my very first speech, it's still on my YouTube channel today. I said, if you send me, I will go and I will lay down my life for this country. I can pretty much tell you that 95% of the politicians in D.C. will not lay down their lives for this country. I even remember doing a post about the number of people with former military experience dropped drastically in the last 30 years. People have no understanding of what service. I am the chairman for a Kiwanis group here in Atlanta. And one of the things that we're teaching the children is leadership through service. SLP, Service Leadership Program. How in the hell can you expect to lead when you don't even understand what serving is all about. And it offends me when I hear politicians talking about, I am your leader. I will be a good leader. I don't want to be your leader. I want to go to D.C. and serve. I want to go to D.C. and expose those bastards that violate the Constitution day in and day out. You want to know why you don't see me on Fox? Because of this. Yeah, you see some other Negroes that they bring on and they parade around. They all have one thing in common. They never touch rhinos. Because the illusion of a two-party system must be maintained at all costs. That division. So that either side will continue to believe that one party or the other is working for them in their best interest. I'm going to read something to you because somebody commented on my wall. Well, the Democrats, they were good for the country. And I'm like, you know what? Ignorance is really something else. It's amazing. So I want to read this to you, my response to this particular person. Someone decided to tell me that Democrats used to be good for the country and Negroes. Be careful. Democrats have never been good for the country and especially for the Negro. They've never done the country well, and I'd suggest more research. Let me tell you some of the things they've done. They fought to keep slavery. If you understand the Civil War, you understand where I'm coming from. Now, many of those in the Republican Party will tell you that the war was not about slavery. They don't know what the hell they're talking about because many of the people that fought for the South, that would mean an admission of their forefathers were racist ass bastards, period. End of story. I know that might make somebody mad and I might get unfriended, but you know, I really don't give a damn. Go ahead and unfriend me because if the truth offends, it should. But if the truth sets free, which it can, then all praises to God. All right. They fought to keep slavery. They tried to repeal the 13th and 14th Amendments. They blocked the civil rights effort by Eisenhower. Let me get back to it. Forgive me, folks. Sorry about that. Kind of lost my place here. Trying to do this one-handed. They blocked the integration of the military. They created Jim Crow. They created the marriage license to stop whites from marrying Negroes. Only signed the Civil Rights Bill of 64 because of the GOP. They gave us the Crime Bill of 94. We're talking Joe Biden, okay, and Bill Clinton. Remember when Hillary Clinton said these super predators need to be brought to heel like they were dogs, all right? Then we have, they gave us the Crime Bill of 94, which began Negro warehousing for prisons for profit. They started the unchecked sexual deviancy revolution, which includes men using women's restrooms. You can thank Obama for that. They put illegal aliens before the Negro. Negroes are still being released this year. I post one almost every month, somebody that has spent 20 or 30 years incarcerated for a crime that they did not commit while they want to give illegal aliens a free pass when they come into this country. And then they love abortion. You want to know why? Fewer Negroes in the population by a decrease of 500,000 per year. I could go on and on, but I won't. But please, on my wall, don't comment out of ignorance because I am a historical juggernaut on the wickedness of the Democrats and rhinos. You will not win. This is why I teach kids, because their parents will not. This is why I also try to educate those in the Republican Party so that they will get it and understand. But many people don't know, don't have a clue, aren't even interested. They see Trump. They are happy that Trump is doing what Trump is doing. So am I. But when they go to the polls for the primary this year, all they're going to be looking for is who is the R. And I promise you, and it's unfortunate, David Perdue will more than likely be reelected. Go and look up his constitutional voting record. Go and look it up. Look it up. Look up everyone in Georgia. There is no one in Georgia with a constitutional voting record over 80%. There is one, I think the highest is 70%. 70%. That's the highest in Georgia. Now, if Rand Paul can have 94 and Thomas Massey 99, why in the hell can't these individuals have a constitutional voting record that at least is more than 80%? The answer is the money changes tables. But summing up, the bottom line is this. The 39 rhinos that quit to give the Democrats this edge. And that edge is the stain so that they can campaign against Donald Trump in saying this president was impeached. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he was not convicted in the Senate. They will stick with he was impeached. And the polls that they are putting out there now, where they're even saying even conservatives at the rate of 70% believe that Donald Trump did something wrong. Now, I know that that's a lie, and I don't even go with the polls anymore. But that's what they're putting out there because they want to discourage Republicans from going and voting. But look, you heard it from TMOT. I told you Donald Trump will win in a landslide. People are getting tired, but understand something. If you continue to re-elect rhinos, Donald Trump will forever be encumbered with these battles. It is time to purge those bastards. I remember being at an event and a lady came up and said, and I just want to show you what Republicans do. Well, how are you going to work with those rhinos, as you call them, with your rhetoric? I say, ma'am, first off, it ain't rhetoric. Their voting records speak for themselves. And I don't want to work with them. I'm not going there to work with those that are pissing on the Constitution. I want them gone. I want them exposed, and I want them gone and replaced with somebody that will come and do what they promised to do, obey and protect the Constitution. What part of that don't you understand? But then they still would not stop. Johnny Isakson wouldn't even get on the debate stage with me. I told Georgia, I say, look, I got inside information. This man is going to retire before his term is even done. And what did Kemp do here in the state of Georgia? Rather than giving Trump what he wanted, which was Doug Collins. And again, Doug Collins is a rhino. Why Trump wanted him, I don't know. There are other people that are more qualified, moi, but that's what he wanted. I ain't second guessing it. I'm sure he had his reason. But Kemp picked this other lady, Loeffler, I think that's her last name. So understand what's at stake and do something different, because the information is out there. All you got to do is look for it. And y'all see this right here, Derrick Grayson, U.S. Senate. Please, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you telling me. But please don't let it stop there. Oh, man, I wish I could vote for you. Man, I hope you win. Go to GraysonForGeorgia.com, GeorgiaGA.com/donate. Hell, just donate $1. Okay? I'll take 1 million individual donations of $1. We can win. We can make a difference. But I can't do it by myself. And as always, I will go if you send me. T-Mod out. Drive time. Till next time. Peace.